if Sonic is in. But there you go. Now that I say it, it's like, hey, you wanted Fighter's Pass 2? You will get Fighter's Pass 2. It's Aegis from Spargo to face off against Ken, and this is the character that he has used to defeat Sonics in the past, so I think it makes a lot of sense. Not that Cloud can do it, but you know, the faster options from Mythra especially are definitely going to give him an advantage.
That's right. You know, just allow him to go toe-to-toe a little bit more. I still feel like the off-the-stage gameplay, I mean, whether it's Cloud or whether it's Pyra or Mythra, they're still going to struggle out there when it comes to recovery. But, I mean, again, I guess the name of the game right now is trying to keep the match as grounded as possible, if there even is such a thing, versus Ken. Ken, of course, is just an absolute monster when it comes to mobility. Knowing how to dance around even some of the most talented individuals in this game with Sonic. What's going on? Okay. Caught in that corner. Pyra's already here. He said, Mythra, tag me in. Let me go ahead and clean up your mess right now.
Especially when fighting for the control of the Pokeball here in PS2, but it does feel as if Ken is simply baiting Spargo out. Now, one of the things that Ken has been punished a lot from doing is dash attacks, oddly enough. Like, he kind of has to read on his opponent with dash attack. He ends up hitting a ton of percentage after he ends up hitting a shield, and I think that Spargo is going to be smart enough to bait that one out, but Ken, like you said, master of movement, barely escaping some of Pyra's moves, but eventually he is found, and this is a back throw, and this is a ledge trap situation. Spargo does connect it up there, can't quite find the stop.
Dude, I'm always afraid when I see characters like Pyra caught in the corner. You know, his Pyra and his Cloud, most notably, when they get you caught in the corner, they kind of stay at that perfect length away where I'm not as mindful to get up attack, don't really care about it. If I'm up on the ledge, I'm positioned just perfectly enough to possibly go for a grab, but ain't no ledge play right here. This is done a little bit outside of center stage. Gonna go ahead and go for the up smash off the top of the screen. Clean stuff right here from Spargo as we kick this match off, kind of pinning Ken down. Not the easiest thing in the world to do from one of the best Sonics in the business.
Maybe a little too close for comfort, too. Like, Ken is definitely counting on the rage of Mythra, but he, or Pyra in this case, but he was right next to the body, so that's going to be the up smash confirm. And now, of course, Spargo with a down tilt just scooping up that hedgehog and switching to Pyra to maybe get a downer. Can't quite seem to do it, but he does seem to have Ken's numbers in the get-up options. And now the second downer, barely not connecting, but Spargo is ahead by a full stock. He is extending so much when Ken is off stage, and of course, calling out the get-up options. Hines says get-up options have become such a nightmare for many players in this tournament.
They most certainly have. You have got to watch how you get back onto this stage. Uh-oh. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for you out there, my friend. Okay, you might have a cape or your hair or whatever that is, but you can't fly, all right? Great stuff right there on Ken's behalf. Sometimes less is most certainly more. Using the springs, you know, again, just to make, you know, Spargo's life a living hell out there off stage. Okay, Pyra's definitely back in business right now. Whoa. Okay, gonna go for the down there. Ooh, okay, can't get anything off the prominence revolt. Yeah, I'm loving the presence of mind here right now from Ken. The understanding I'm bleeding out a little bit. It's time to lean into my movement. Let that do the talking for me. I'd love to see him maybe, you know, force Spargo off stage a little bit more and go for those aerials. Up air is really good. I believe first hit on forward air is frame 5, so very quick and explosive options. I see those a lot in the Twitter clips on Sonic's behalf.
And it can also be a bit of a checkmate tool, especially against Mythra, in my opinion. Maybe even Pyra's, sure, but you know, the recovery from Spargo, we were talking about this as well in the Spanish stream. When you're playing a character that has such a quote-unquote bad recovery, that's the first thing you take care of, and Spargo is one of the best at recoveries with Pyra and Mythra, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
However, he needs to be the closer. We talked about the clutch factor from Siski. That ended up not being real. Does he have the clutch factor against Ken to get this second stock of his? And also, I would like you guys to just keep an eye out for the clock, man. That's definitely going to drain.
That clock is always, it's never on anybody's side, that's for darn sure. Definitely something you got to keep in the back of your mind. Whoa, my God, a bit of a trade right there on the left side of the screen. Clean stuff right now on Spargo's behalf. A lead, no doubt, and definitely leaning into that stats we talked about before. You know, again, Spargo with the set lead right now in this head-to-head matchup. He's definitely playing like it. A lot of confidence. Let's see if we can get something started with that down tilt. Quick frame 5 option. Even fast on Sonic's regard. Ken right now. Got to get out of this corner and back towards center stage. Got to put on some percent here. I would love, like I mentioned just briefly before, to try to get Spargo off stage. That's where he's shown a lot of promise, using that spring to stop the recovery options, or again, maybe even going for like nair off stage and forward air as well too.
one of the adaptations that I love from Ken, especially when Spargo is in the air. He is moving out of the way so that he does not get caught with the landing hitbox of neutral air either. Like, hitboxes galore from Mythra, sure, but especially neutral air can start such a long sequence, and Ken would rather just not engage. He's not sharking anymore. He's waiting for Spargo to land, and then he goes in for the grab, for instance, like he just did, and start his big combos, and this is almost an even game again. But the call-out with the side B, that's not something we see often from Spargo.
No, absolutely not. Those call-outs certainly come a little bit later into the match, but we'll certainly take them, no doubt about it. Okay, going to go for the dash attack again. Quick explosive option. Ken right now trying to pose as well a little bit more. Framed out, just not into the the favor of Pyra right now. Mythra's back online. Those up tilts, and again that frame 5 down tilt. Always something that Ken has to be mindful of, especially playing up close and personal. Mythra's not your traditional swordy in this game. Get up attack, back up, bro. Okay, backing up right now. Nice, going to take him for a ride right into the back here. Can I get another one? We off stage. There's the spring. No! And Ken with the small Tiger Woods pop off. He said, I'll take it.
That is a heartbreaker if you're Spargo. He could not grab that ledge. And if he did grab the ledge, I think the pressure was still going to keep being there. Ken has consistently developed new strats, especially using the spring. And, particularly here, that's what he was charging for, right? He was aiming for the spring. He got the first stock like that, too, forcing Pyra to go beneath the stage. So it seems like the checkmate is to just put that spring in the trajectory of the up B. And now we're back into PS2. We are back with the Pyra in Mythra. I don't think we're going to see character switch, to be honest.
No.
But I also don't remember who he beat Ken with. I'm assuming it was a while ago, so maybe Cloud.
It could have been Cloud. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody out there definitely let us know what character got it done the last couple times these two talented players threw down. But as it stands right now, can't ignore the fact that Ken has the lead. Okay, but with the way this match is kicking off right now, starting this one a little bit colder than I initially expected. Okay, cross up there. Okay, let him know I'm not afraid to approach right now, especially when I'm blessed with the frame data that Mythra has.
And especially when you have the mobility to do it, almost checkmating with a downer. Can't quite seem to find anybody, but the scoop-diddy-doop-diddy into the F smash. Ken now at 99%, but he is feeling the pressure, especially off stage. Once again, the downer won't connect, but I appreciate the insistence.
I definitely do. And I believe somebody in the chat just let me know that it was Aegis the last 3 times that these gentlemen have played. So great stuff right there. Up B, you know the vibes, bro. Okay? Me and Ike, we working out in the same gym. Pressure getting a little too thick. I'm about to up B out of here.
Speaking of which, you definitely need to get out of there, especially when playing against Pyra. Sorry. The switch into Mythra, though, and Sonics did land a dash attack. No punishment this time, and there's a landing neutral that I was talking about. Ken would rather not engage. He just keeps holding shield, and he's waiting for the possible scoop. All right, the call-out from Spargo on the get-up.
That's right. Now, we're seeing those calls that you talked about in the last game just a little bit earlier right now. I think he kind of understands the importance of maintaining a lead here, whether it's a stock or damage, even if it's 1 or 2%. Ken is going to use everything in Sonic's utility to try to make sure you can maintain a lead. You want to try to make sure you take that away from him as quickly as possible. Spargo doing just that right now, milking this. Okay, nice. Down there his way, back onto, well, not quite back onto the stage, but back closer to the ledge here, looking for the reset forward air, boom.
What I love from Spargo is that he is also forcing Ken to go really deep on his recovery. Like, he needs to go beneath the stage himself to then force Spargo to whip something. However, no whips over here, baby! That's a dunkaroo into the up smash, and Ken is now down by 2, and the crowd is going wild with every stock that Spargo takes. I love the callouts with the grabs, too. Like, he just dash grabbing so much, and Ken keeps falling for it. He is getting a little too comfortable, not moving, oddly enough.
Yeah, Ken is playing completely out of his mind right now. Finally able to get a stock on the board, but a little late into the game here. I don't want to call it just yet because, again, Sonic definitely has the ability as a character, you know what I'm saying, to really, again, pick apart some of these aspects, I believe, on Aegis' behalf, especially when it comes to the off-stage presence. We haven't quite seen it as much right now in the game. Curious to see if we're going to see it maybe just a little bit later on. Another up air. Okay, nice spot dodge. Not allowing himself to get grabbed here. Ken, of course, just playing this one as safe as he can. Nice. Homing attack. Nothing off the back air. Back throw. You know it.
No commitment on a smash attack or anything. It's just a back throw. But, again, he's going so deep off stage. He's going to put himself in so much danger. Spargo calls him out on the get-up once again. Gets the grab. Forward throw. And forces Ken to still fight his way back. He does get back to center stage, though. And Ken gonna throw Spargo almost off stage. The percentage is definitely rising, but Spargo has an extra stock to boot. Granted, this is where you need to clutch it. If Sonic gets back to even with you, that's when he can play even more campy and just add percent little by little.
That's right. And again, playing the long game most definitely is certainly paying off dividends right now for Spargo. Spargo right now not afraid to box it out right now. Pyra, frame 3 jab. She can box a little bit, okay? She'll let those fists fly if she has to. But again, it's all about the fire right now. The corner game, very scary. We should see an F tilt or something, some sort of tilt here soon. Some of those more unsuspecting options. Okay, there's that standing jab I talked about before. Nothing off the aerial. Okay, trying to clean his plate. Nice. Bit of a delay right there on the fall from Ken. I like that, but I don't love it, though. Great stuff right here from Spargo. One game apiece here, friends.
1-1 indeed. And Spargo, what I love in the adaptation from this game is, like I said, he calls out Ken's moments in which he's not moving. Like, he's like, okay, I'm just going to approach and grab. What are you going to do? Maybe jab? I don't know, but it's still a clank in the worst case scenarios. Ken is holding shield so much, and Spargo is calling him out consistently, and that's where Ken usually ends up off stage. That's when he gets called out on the get-up, and that's where Spargo is shining. Yes, he gets a lot of confirms with his smashes and such, but before that, Ken builds his percent little by little by being off stage.
That's right, and I think, again, it's kind of the method to the madness that is Sonic the Hedgehog. I gotta say, you know, not to bring up Sonics, but, you know, again, best Sonic in the business, in my personal opinion. And, of course, Ken is certainly right up there on that Sonic, you know, Mount Rushmore. But I think the key difference between both of those two talented players is the corner control. The trapping in the corner, the off-stage presence, kind of leaning into the favor of Sonic's a bit more, where Ken elects to, you know, maybe play, you know, the grounded game, you know, maybe staying a little bit more towards center stage. And I think that right now is kind of what's biting Ken in the butt right now. I would like to see him maybe, like I mentioned before, get Spargo off stage. And I'm saying it, but of course it's a task much easier said than done. But Sonic has those great aerials, man. That first hit of fair so fast, that's going to make Spargo sweat a little bit out there.
And especially so when you've got such a meager recovery. Now, Ken, however, needs to put Spargo off stage first and foremost, and he is not landing the moves. My boy is not cooking right now. He unfortunately is at 131%, and Spargo knows that the checkmate could come really easily. He tries to bait it with the dash attack, but the up tilt's going to do it. One of the faster options, too, and one that not many expect. Like, you can go above Pyra and Mythra so often. You're usually used to Mythra's up tilt, too. You kind of forget how hard Pyra's own hits.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. It feels like we just don't get to see as much of Pyra, but obviously for you know, a good reason. I mean, Mythra, of course, is the one that puts on a lot of the percentage. You can see right now we've seen a lot of these aerials, and namely up close and personal, too, that down tilt on Mythra's behalf. Like I mentioned before, quick frame 5 option gets that party started, but right now, 128%, not showing any signs of slowing down. Another dash attack. We bursting in, homie.
It seems as if Ken... Okay, there's a dash attack that I was talking about. Like, he tries to call out the movement from Spargo, too. He knows that he might just get a win if Spargo goes for the grabs and such, but he's doing so, ironically, so slowly. Spargo has all the time in the world to react. Ken usually miss-spacing the option, too, off the dash attack, and that just leads to this kind of position. However, Ken is able to put the down tilt up. I'm also thinking of Sonic's.
No. Hey, he's always on my mind, too. No worries, but hey, I get it, though. Ken, of course, doing a really good job of trying to keep this thing as close as possible, but I can't ignore that there is a sizable gap here, and I feel like Spargo's kind of taking a page out of Ken's book when it comes to what they're doing when they have that lead. Yes, I play up close and personal when I have Mythra, but I can also break away, you know, lean into the mobility option that Mythra has and force you to come to me.
You know, the one part in which Spargo might fear himself a little bit is when he uses the double jump, but Ken is not committing to go forward, almost losing his second stock now. The side B will catch him, though.
Hey.
That's the lead for the Mexican player. Off a stock, you know the vibes.
You know the vibes, okay? What's understood don't need to be explained at all. Nice landing with the nair. And again, I can't help but to feel like Ken should be the one doing a bit more of the trapping in the corner. But maybe, like I mentioned, there's a method to the madness. I don't want to question one of the best Sonic players in the business. But I can't help but to feel like I'm just, you know, in a bit of a head-scratching situation here. Okay, just struggling right now to get those shoes back onto solid ground. Caught in the corner here. Okay, the precision on lock right now from Spargo. Another nair. Pyra's here, no down tilt though. Wait a minute, you might want to switch back to Mythra. You don't want to play the can I land game while Ken is up underneath you.
Yeah, Yes, indeed, and there you go. There is a switch, also calling out the movement from Ken in the air too, which is crucial. Ken is not really safe anywhere. He runs in, he gets grabbed. He's in the air, up tilt or neutral air from Mythra is going to do the trick, and then when he switches to Pyra, oddly enough, even with all the percent he might have, that's when he is feeling a little bit better, because just one way from Pyra is so punishable with Sonic speed. And then comes the true test, closing out the stocks themselves. Pyra has not come out. Mythra is still in. Spargo wants a little bit more percent to confirm, and there's Pyra now fishing for the upper, probably, or just a neutral there. Might even do it.
Okay, looking for that falling upper, trying to get something started right here in the corner. And I'm glad you brought up the importance of these aerials right here on both of these two players' behalf, namely more so on Ken's behalf. He has to figure out a way to do something to get the stock taken. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Better late than never. Finding a success with that forward air. Uh-oh. Showed your hand a little too early, player. I'm going to make you pay for that. Double back air. Yeah, that's right. Okay, trying to cut this lead in half right now. Okay, swinging big right here. Nothing happens until you swing. And Spargo right now swinging as big as ever. Pyra's here. Still, oh my goodness, the gentleman.
Wow. Just a nice little checkmate from Spargo. So good in the reactions and the get-up options. I insist, this tournament, Delfino Maza here, might as well be called Get-Up Maza, because they always get so called out on the get-up options. Be it Siski with his wall of forwarders, be it maybe Alan Dis with his up smash too.
Yes,
it's almost as if there's some new developments, but yet we have seen these things happen before. It's just that the players, I don't know if they're getting too eager on the invincibility option. We did see some stocks being lost to somebody just holding on to the edge because they did not want to get up.
Yeah.
I saw somebody be eliminated like that today. CK against the dress offense. So sad.
Yeah, it's always a sad thing. And, I'm glad you brought up, too, like, the importance of just getting up at the ledge. I think, some of the players might be just a little antsy. I'm saying, might not be quite as mindful of what their opponents bringing to the table, and I get it. Some of the trapping options, on Ken's behalf, that I'm used to seeing from him at this level of bracket play. Not quite seeing him here this much. I don't know if maybe it's a testament to just how great Spargo's playing. I don't know if he's bringing something different to the table. We'll just certainly have to see. But as it stands, whatever he was doing was certainly enough to get him a point on the board. Good Lord, narrowly escaping death right there, or at least a lot of damage. F smash in the corner.
If you hit that, I'm sure the crowd would have exploded right now, because Spargo is so close to reaching the winners finals as well. Just one more game. And what's even more interesting is the set right after. If Ken does go down, we are going to have to take that set, because EE asked me to come and see that set with me. He does not want to come and see Ken.
Oh, well, yeah, well, Phil's been very vocal on how he feels about Ken's gameplay. Hey, but you know what, though? Play lane, win game, and it pays the bills, all right? So I completely understand where Ken's coming from. 109% right now, has this lead, and I'd imagine this is a spot where Spargo has just been grinding his teeth. Like, I just do not want to be in this spot. Ken has the lead, and I'm going to be in some trouble if I cannot figure out a way to get this stock taken.
Oh, especially so when he's only getting started. Oh no, he ends up eating a permanent revolt, not going to die just yet. But one thing that I will give Ken, he at least is grabbing the edge a lot more. Spargo keeps insisting upon the down or off stage. He never really gets the spike. Insists upon it, though. He knows that he needs to check Ken for his movement. And Ken is playing fantastically when it comes to grabbing the edge. When it comes to getting up, that's a different story. But, 160% only now. No, not even now. He's still living with the first stock.
But how much longer is the real question. Oh, my goodness. Hey, not much longer. There it is. So I'm answering your questions for you. Whoa, what? Oh, okay, hey, what's going on? What type of party is this, Ken? You better get back on the stage. Scared me right there for a second. But yeah, we're starting to see a bit more of a confident Ken right now come out, and I'm kind of liking this here. These aerials paying off dividends right now. Again, I want to see more of that forward air, and I certainly want to see more of that nair as well, too. Nair being -7 on that first hit, -5 as well, too. So some of these quicker, safer aerial options, want to see a bit more of that tossed out. Just a good way for Ken to try to impose his will when it comes to approaching Spargo, especially since now he's being a bit more aggressive.
He is finally stepping on the gas. I mean, he got a stock up, and that's when he really started to keep pushing. When he lost his stock, actually, he did not really step back. Spargo is the one who has been whiffing a lot more, because Ken has been mixing up that spin charge so much more. He is forcing Spargo to go for some laggy tilts, for instance. And, of course, most of the time, Pyra was out. Now Mythra is, and now she needs to recover. This is going to be so complicated. There's the spring we talked about earlier, and that's going to be the stock for Spargo.
Wow. My God, I'm starting to see some of that Game 1 energy come out here on Ken's behalf. Spargo said it ain't done just yet, though. Both sides have done a really good job of really slowing the match down in various ways. Sometimes it comes at the expense of a lead. Sometimes even when they're down a stock, you'll see them kind of switch up the pacing of the match here ever so slightly. Okay, now, oh my God. Go for the standing grab again, leaning into what you were talking about just a moment before. Pyra getting up off that ledge. Standing jab. That first punch, frame 3. Who said Pyra can't box? Come on. Get up off that ledge.
Ooh.
We'll take that tilt. We'll take it.
Probably going to look for a gentleman later down the line, but Spargo decides to go for the tilt. Now the downer is going to take Ken down. Final stock for both of these players in this set, and might be the final one for Ken in winner's side. However, he is dominating. He is for sure getting the leads in, but the parry from Spargo leads to only 7%, but you can feel something cooking. You can feel that Spargo is becoming a lot more eager to go for those parries, and he can win certainly quite big because it's up tilt from Mythra. It's the up tilt that has landed him so many of these openings, that has forced Ken to go back into the platforms, that has forced Ken to go for the spin dash away from him. So many different options in which Ken is falling, and that's the lead for Spargo.
It's that down tilt, man. Again, frame 5, such a great option to have, especially as a swordy. I know Mythra comprises some slightly different ingredients than the traditional swordsman in this game, but I can't ignore how good that down tilt is, and dash attack as well. Just being able to have that good burst option at a time where, you know, Ken might disengage and try to slow the match down a little bit.
Also because it's a scoop, right? I mean, what I love from Spargo is that it's his pristine combo starter too. Be it on the edge, be it on center stage as well. Look at that. And yeah, he's going for a couple of down tilts, hoping to catch Ken and start something huge. However, he also needs to bang everything on the killing move soon. He tries to go for a few downers, none of them connecting yet. And Sonics is still just running circles around him, but he does get tagged by the last hit of the side B! Goodbye, sir! You're in loser's bracket now! Spargo is in winner's final!
Good things come to those who wait. This young man playing as patient as ever, and I'm going to be honest, you're going to need a lot of patience going up against Sonic. I mean, this character, bro, can pile Sonic to just top-level efficiency, and I got to give it to him, man. He tried to slow down the match on Spargo, but Spargo said, look, you ain't going to outpace me, man. I certainly know what it takes to mount this victory. Spargo moving on. Ken's going to drop down to the loser's bracket. Let's see how this one all unfolds.
You know what? This next set is actually the one I'm most excited for. Two players who were probably seeded to be in top 8, but in loser's side. They were not expected to be here on winner semis. I'm talking, of course, about Shiny Mark and SkyJ. No strangers to top 8s, but SkyJ getting here